Hello.
Oh, hello. Jake called me out there. Checking my phone. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Open Collab number 9. My name is Charlie.
9? 8.
8.
8.
I was like, don't say 9. It's 8. Oh, the one that you don't say.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm Jake, and he's Charlie. I'm Charlie, and he's Jake, and we are Charlie and Jake. And this is Echoes and Edges Open Collab. Good evening.
Welcome in.
Come on in to our little home studio in Bristol, virtually that is. It's lovely to be here with you all. If you've not been to an Echoes and Edges Open Collab before, Jake, why don't you tell everybody what it is?
Yeah, absolutely. Echoes and Edges Open Collab is a night where we, every month, we ask for poets from all over the world to send in performances of their poetry. And then we curate a selection of those to form the show. And then starting yesterday, we basically started listening to those poems and improvising and coming up with little ideas for what we're going to do with them tonight for you. And it's all going to be sort of semi-prepared, but mostly improvised, using lots of the instruments that you see around you, the piano and voice and all that lovely stuff.
That's not on.
Not on. This one is. There you go. And lots of loops and lots of nice sounds. And yeah, we're pretty excited. We've had lots of fun exploring ideas, and now we want to share them with you. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we start, though, what we should say is that we would really appreciate your support. We've been doing this project now since April. It's just us two. We do everything from building the website to curating the program to making all the music to making all the graphics to blah, 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 blah. It's just us two. And somebody the other day sent an email saying, oh, could you pass this on to your programming team? Oh, yeah. We'd really appreciate your support. This support from you guys is the only financial backing that we have right now. So if you are able to buy an online ticket, we would totally appreciate that. So the links to support us are down here. We have a coffee page where you can just buy kind of a £3 coffee or a £6 coffee, and just as a one-off donation. But we also have our Patreon, and if you don't know what Patreon is, it's kind of like a special club, right? For our biggest pals. And if you join our Patreon family, you pay us it's a direct debit for be aware that it's monthly, but what you get in return is you get one of our CDs on certain tiers, and you also get, on Sunday mornings after the show, we do a live stream just for you guys where we do Q&A and we kind of break down some of the collaborations and what we felt worked and what we felt didn't. But also it's kind of like our little focus group where we can kind of talk to you guys in a more personal basis and kind of get your feedback on what you want to see from Open Collab and where you think it can go, as well as where we think it can go.
Lovely.
Done.
Sounds great. How do I sign up?
Oh, okay. There. Lovely. All right. And I think lots of you have found the chat box on YouTube now too.
Oh, yes.
But please do keep commenting, keep chatting. It's amazing. We're musicians that are used to having an audience in front of us, and we're really missing that feedback, and from clapping or booing or throwing their pants at us. So, if you could virtually clap or give us feedback, just so we know that there's somebody that's hearing this.
Get the emojis out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, please. That is so useful for us and useful for the poets as well. I'm sure they'd love to hear what you thought of their words. We are all about community, right? And in the comments as well, in the description of the video, you will find all of the socials to all of the poets that we're showcasing tonight. So do get following people and kind of, sharing the creative love. Yes?
Yeah.
All right. Should we do the things?
Let's do the thing.
All right.
So, we've got an incredible lineup of poetry and poets tonight.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers indeed.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. And the...
I got away with it.
Totally. And the first poet tonight is a poet that we've worked with several times now over the course of the last 8 months. And we always love working with his poetry. It's and his voice as well. He's got such a great delivery and covers a range of topics with his poetry. It's Mark DeLissa, and he is. This is what he has to say for himself and about the poem as well.
This is what he has to say for himself.
You know what I mean.
I know.
So, with the intention to uplift and empower, my poetry explores the ever-shifting tides of the human experience. A father, poet, and youth worker based in Bath, I self-publish my poetry and art zine out of nothing, and I'm currently working on my first poetry collection entitled Devotion. So then this is what he has to say about the poem, which is called Different. Oh, let me put this on. There it is. Oh, I covered up the album. But you don't need to see the album for now. Have a look at Mark. So this is what he says about the poem. Our differences should be what brings us together rather than what makes us drift further apart. They should shine a light on our similarities. Great. Okay. And so should we begin?
Yeah, I think we should. This poem's amazing.
I think we are ready.
Do you not want to play bass?
Do I play bass? Oh, I play bass. I play bass.
Just a thought.
What I believe to be true will mean something completely different than what it means to you. Because no two people can view this world the same. What gives me pleasure might cause you pain, what draws you in might push me away, what made me leave might make you stay. We all ride the wave of reality in a different way. You see, what I see when I see the sea is a reaction based on the accumulation of memories that elicit an emotional response that is deeply personal and unique to me. I shouldn't presume to know what's going on in your mind, and you couldn't possibly begin to know what's happening in mine. No two objects can occupy the same space at the same time. Our truths are subjective, totally made up from our individual perspectives. They are victims to opinions, emotions, and feelings, so in a world of nearly 7 billion, it's no wonder we find it hard to share a vision. Trapped in the thought prisons of our individual truths, expecting everyone else to see the world the same as you do. But like I said, the truth is subjective. If we took the time to meditate on that, we could become more introspective. Then we wouldn't need to be so protective of our perspectives and opinions. We could begin to make more rational decisions. We could actually move forward with a shared mission to no longer obsess over division. And then we could start to celebrate the fact that we are all different.
We are all different. We are all different. We are all different. We means something completely different than what it means to you. What I believe to be true will mean something completely different than what it means to you. We are right the way of reality in a different way to see. We are right the way of reality in a different way. We are different. We are all different. We are all different. Yeah, yeah. We are all different. We are all different. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Mark. It's just every poem I hear from Mark is just gets better and better. And it was already like amazing. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. What a lovely way to start this evening's stuff.
Yeah.
There's some kind of key themes running through the show tonight. Kind of, we wanted to talk. Well, we depending on what we get given, a theme presented itself of this year and of lockdown and also of difference and similarities and working together even though we're all apart, and also of hope. And I think that's kind of run through the whole of this evening's programme. Yeah. So thank you, Mark, for kicking us off. I was just worried because a number came up, a number paused on the YouTube live stream, and I was worried that it meant that, you see that number there, yeah.
Oh, don't worry, that's the average.
Oh, cool.
So it changes very, very, very slowly.
No worries.
No problem.
Okay, no problem. I thought that the
Behind
video had
there.
paused.
See more of that tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. So the next, I'm gonna just have a sip of water. Okay. The next poem is by Asmund, and it's called Golden Eyes. So Kay is a softly spoken, non-binary Brit who likes to write poetry and prose. They say they also do poetry readings on their Instagram. So if you'd like to hear your poems, if you'd like to hear poems in dulcet tones, drop by and send them a message. And their Instagram is down below. It's Fireweed Foundation. Yes. Kay has sung this poem, which is so exciting and so beautiful. And Kay's going to introduce the poem for us. And we are just going to create a lovely backing for Kay's wonderful singing.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's
Yeah. Hey, I'm Kay. My pronouns are they, them, and I am Fireweed Foundation on Instagram. I wrote this poem about someone I love very much, who I suspect for mental health reasons is unfortunately isolating themselves. They have cut themselves off from me, and I suspect other people as well. The only thing I can think to do at the moment is to offer them love and patience. And so I wrote this. I sing of a pair of golden eyes, a heart that's made the same, and the vaulted temple of my soul resounds with the sound of this name. And I would walk 1,000 miles and cross a violent sea and I would wait till end of time if they would wait for me. The candle bright which lit the night has left the window pane. The tower walls rise wide and tall, still I sing my refrain. There may yet be no answer, but should my friend descend, they shall find me waiting here with love that never ends.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Kay. I feel like we should do it again. That was so lovely. Thank you, Kay. And I'm sure that the person that you were thinking of when you sang that will appreciate that so much when they come to hearing it. And thank you for sharing that with us too.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Lovely. So the next piece comes from Megureando. Megureando, sorry. And this is from our friend Mariana. And Mariana Gillie is an Argentinian dancer, born in 1986. She is an artist of movement, a performer, and a writer. Her poetic writing is, for her, another way to communicate with the world and to travel across the borders of time and space. So, about the poem. This poem, called Finisterre, this poem is about beginnings and endings, about the passage of time, the physical and emotional boundaries, the limits of Earth and the horizon in front of which we observe ourselves, as in a mirror. There's the presence of a pigeon, appears as
a dove.
A dove.
It's a dove.
Sorry. There's the presence of a dove. That's right, yeah. Appears as an inhabitant of the air between winds and darkness. Toward the end, there is the idea that we embrace our fears to undertake the leap that will take us to a new beginning. And so the thing that we love to do as we share every month is to take these poems and, as well as add the music, we set them in a place with some sounds. So these are recorded sounds that we have recorded whilst we've been around the world travelling or visiting family or just going for a walk. During lockdown, we did a couple of walks and recorded some lovely sounds of just by the harbour side here in Bristol or by a river. So this features two sounds. The first is Dandenong Forest Stream. And the second is a Gable Island Footsteps. And the Dandenong Forest Stream, so these are both recorded in Australia, where a lot of my family's from. And beautiful forests and beautiful sort of seaside coastal area. A lot of just wind and natural sounds there that place us in this poem. And I know it's not necessarily where the poem was written about or where it was written, but we think it's really nice.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to this one. Oh, I should have got ready before showing you the sounds, because that's just stopped the sounds.
No problem.
And something's gone wrong.
That's okay. It looks like the chat has been very active. It's lovely to see you all and see lots of people communicating with each other too and saying hi to each other. Oh, lovely. How much time? Yeah. Oh, this iPad is not happy, is it? Maybe it wants a beer as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yes. Okay. Cool. Well, let me just put you back in that space whilst I get my instrument. Yes.
So, I'm so excited to work with Mariana's poem. It's the first time we will be responding to a poem that isn't in English, which is so exciting. And I also wanted to say that I handwrite all of these lovely graphics, and I particularly loved this one. All right.
Finisterre. ¿Qué sabrá la paloma? ¿Acaso hay algo más noble que su cántico y su desplegado andar sin límites ni pensamientos? ¿Será cierto que para ella no hay abismos, como tampoco horizontes, que tampoco hay líneas rectas ni curvas suspendidas en el aire? Habrá un andamiaje, sonidos vascosos, entre recovecos sin aires. Como la vida, eterno manantial, perpleja, la paloma no se conoce a sí misma. Siempre va huyendo, siempre va, andando. A veces viene, aunque así no siempre llega ni se va. Hay una luz radiante, un espejo que es magia y también encierro. Hay un horizonte sin tinieblas. Hay esas ganas tremendas de abrazarte, de sentirte rodeada de tanto amor divino. Hoy no hay cielos ni estrellas, aire puro, suspiro vespertino. Hay en mí un alcance imaginario de hondos cuerpos que fluyen en el océano de tierras finitas. Finisterre, 15 de enero del 2020. Por la tarde hay un sol precioso, unas gaviotas andantes y la paloma. Y un cielo humeante me dice que el camino es el que una haga. Aquí, donde estoy, se llega y se puede cruzar, saltar el agua y ahí seguir andando en tinieblas, siguiendo los miedos, soltando las inseguridades, agarrándole la mano a la niña para entonces sí, saltar sin miedo, aunque no estés aquí, nunca más.
What will the dove know? Is there something more noble than her song? What will the dove know? Is there something more noble than her song? Like life, eternal spring, perplexed, the dove does not know itself, always running away, always going, but it will never stay. There is a horizon without darkness. There is a tremendous desire to hold you and feel surrounded by your divine love, your divine love, your divine love. Following your fears, letting go of insecurities, holding her hand, jumping without fear, following your fears, letting go of insecurities, jumping without fear. There is a desire to hold you, feel surrounded in your divine love, to feel surrounded in your divine love. Jump out of the water, continue walking in the dark, continue walking in the dark. There is a desire to hold you, to be surrounded in your divine love. There's a desire to hold you and be surrounded in your divine love. Oh, Paloma. Paloma, Paloma, oh, Paloma, Paloma. Oh, Milena, thank you so much. That was so beautiful.
Whew.
You all right?
Yeah.
You had a lot
That
to do
was-
then. You picked up a lot of instruments.
No, it was just nice. I was in it.
Yeah.
Could have gone on for another 3 hours there.
Thank you so much for sending that in to us, Milena. That was really magic. And I know that we've wanted to do something together for a long time. So it was so lovely to finally get you on Open Collab. Thank you. That was beautiful. Oh! All right. Where are we going now?
The next one.
Oh,
Breath.
lovely. Mm-mm-mm. Whew, you all right?
Yeah. No, that was just
That was nice.
that was
wasn't it?
lovely. Yeah.
Wow.
Just rocked me to sleep almost.
Mm. Yeah, in the night. Okay.
Oh, I won't do that yet. Sorry. Remove the reverb for now. We'll bring that back.
Do you want to do this one? Oh, thank you so much. The next poem is by lovely Pauline Sewards, and it's called How Do You Shift Depression? Pauline's book, Spirograph, just came out maybe like a couple of months ago on Burning Eye Books, so do look out for that. And she says, I like short walks, long conversations, cake and coffee. Yes, please. So, how do you shift depression? This poem is a question rather than a solution. She says she wrote it after attending an amazing event called the Hip Yak Poetry School, created by poet Liv Torque. So, we worked with, hey, whoa, here's something.
Oh,
You
yeah.
you should totally check out our poem from last month's Open Collab called Connection, which we co-wrote. I wrote some lyrics too, right?
Mm.
Did I? Yes.
Yeah.
And with Pauline and with Black Swan and Robin, two of our other closest Open Collab pals, we wrote a piece together and then we performed it live on Open Collab last time. All about connection and connecting with each other in this strange time. So, have a look at that. But not yet. Have a look at this first. Where are we going now in the world?
We're going to Lyme Regis.
Lovely.
Lovely Lyme Regis down on the southern coast of England. A place that's very special to Charlie and her family. So maybe
Yeah, you hate
wanna
it,
talk
don't
about
you?
it? I also like it, but it's a lovely place.
No, I know.
But there's a deeper connection for Charlie. So
Sorry.
sowing seeds of doubt, honestly. Anyway, yeah, lovely little seaside town there,
You are.
and here are some waves recorded there. Oh, actually, before I do that, don't listen to them too much. I've got to switch over to the.
Listen to it too much.
You'll spoil it. Okay, now you can listen.
How do you shift depression? You turn it into concrete and chisel its face slowly. You name all of its parts: sadness, grief, envy, rage, shame. And own them as you own your hair or your fingernails or the dance you make through the world. You sit by the water and listen. Suspend disbelief like a tightrope to tiptoe your dreams. You breathe until your heart is open. Those simple things no one taught you.
You breathe. You breathe. Till your heart is open. Till your heart is open. Those simple things, those simple things, no one taught you, no one taught you. You breathe, you breathe, you breathe. Till your heart is open, your heart is open. You breathe. Till your heart is open. Those simple things no one told you. Those simple things no one told you. Breathe.
Thank you, Pauline.
Thank you, Pauline. That was gorgeous.
That was so
Beautiful words.
lovely. Thank you. Oh, we are in it tonight.
Oh.
We can't find anything to say because we're so like, well, shame we had to stop, wouldn't it? We'd have done 3 more hours of that, I think. Wow. So beautiful. What a amazing, honest and hopeful poem. Thank you, Pauline. That was beautiful. Where are we going now?
We are going to Mexico,
Ooh.
I believe.
Yeah.
Am I ready? No.
So this next poem is by our friend in Mexico, Ratna Dakini, and this poem is called If Petals Are Soft Words, and Ratna will be over here somewhere in a video in a second. So Ratna is a poet, improv dancer, yoga teacher, Buddhist practitioner and translator.
Over there. Space
And
is ready. Sorry. Carry on.
She's at the moment through lockdown, she's been doing these amazing email newsletters of kind of just chucking creativity at you into your inbox, and it's just beautiful. So every week she sends poetry, joy, and new creations. So
I think that her email address is in the, well, definitely her Instagram is in the video description. So have a look at Ratna's amazing things. This poem, If Petals Are Soft Words, is about spiritual love. It is intended to gather all sorts of beauty, natural and human-made, and become an offering to the guru or beloved. The guru or beloved could be understood in a cosmic, mystic, ecological, personal, devotional, or even romantic way. Think of whoever you love the most and make this your own offering. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Ratna. Is that the poem? Okay. So where are we we're going back to Australia in sounds, aren't we?
Oh yeah, Australia back. Yeah, it's a favourite of mine. Basically, I spent a long time, 5 years ago now.
When we went to Australia?
No, this was when I went to Australia before that. And
six years ago.
Yeah, 6 years ago, blimey. 6 years ago, I went to Australia and spent a couple of weeks on this island called Gabo Island, which is off the far southeast coast of Australia, right, like sort of as far away from Melbourne as it is from Sydney. So really, really middle of nowhere, very, very small village there. And it's an absolutely gorgeous part of the world. And my uncle works on a lighthouse there, 1 month on, 1 month off. And we went to the lighthouse with him to stay there for about, I think, a week or so. And so far removed from any kind of technology or like anything. There's no signal, obviously, but more importantly, there's no cars nearby. There's no buildings and cities and all this. So it was a real escape, and I spent a lot of time just sort of walking around, standing in places and recording for a couple of minutes at a time. So this is me walking across the island, around the island, and then before I'll make sure that we are ready for it. Yes. So that you can hear it and it won't go away. And Malakuta, which is the village that's sort of on the mainland off from where the island is, was hit really, really badly by the bushfires that happened across Australia, but particularly in Victoria and New South Wales. And it was on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day that they got hit the worst. And they all had to be evacuated down to the coast to survive, and lots of people were sort of taken away and escaped to the island because it was, it's off the mainland. And and we did a piece a couple of months ago now with a poet originally from Australia but now living in Finland, that was all about that. So do check that out on our channel. Natalie, yeah.
It's called My Country is Burning.
Really powerful words.
I'll put that in the chat in halftime.
So look forward to that. But anyway, this is me walking around that island, and this is Ratna Dakini with her poem If Petals Are Soft Words. And I need to get off this seat.
I need to go with it. I wrote down a note to myself to go to the big boy piano. So.
It should also play her lovely video. So, we shall see.
Oh. There it is. Works. Okay. Do you play? You go? No. You first?
Yeah. What sort of speed does it go? I can't remember.
I think something like. Okay?
Ready? Yeah.
All right, let's try that.
If petals are soft words, for my guru Mingyur Rinpoche. What is a poem but an asana, a way of sitting in the moon? What is a poem but a gathering of pulses going out, out, out? What is a poem but a garden of sounds, green to be heard by someone's heart? Most birds today are quiet, but a few far away can't hold their joy. An hummingbird in a flower spot, and a pigeon in gratitude and a passing flock. And somewhere to my right there is a little bird chirping sweetness. I wish I could sing such realness, high in grace and simple tones. I could be singing ceaselessly songs for my beloved, spreading them widely for everyone to be touched, for everyone to rejoice. What is a poem but an asana, a way of sitting in the moon? What is a poem but a gathering of pulses going out, out, out? What is a poem but a garden of sounds, green to be heard by someone's heart? If petals are soft words, I will become a poet. For you, an infinite library of pink and yellow and white roses. What is a poem but the offering of a human who has touched the gathering of earth and sky? What is a poem but a praise for the beloved, a song to share his beauty with the earth, with the stars, with his daughters and sons?
So lovely, Ratna. Thank you so much.
Beautiful words.
Really lovely words. And do check out our other collaboration with Ratna too, right? From Open Collab a few months ago. Oh, what is love? That's that one, is it? Oh, it's so beautiful. Check that one out too. Thank you, Ratna. That was beautiful. This here? You?
Yes.
You here?
I think so.
Yes.
If you don't mind.
Woo,
I'll join
no
you back
problem.
here. Hello.
All right. Where are we going now?
So, well, we have one more poem this half, and then, as always, we'll take a short break in a bit, just so that you can all boil the kettle, but most importantly, so that we can boil the kettle, because you can do that anytime, but we can't. This is our last poem of the first half of the 8th Open Collab of 2020. Ever, in fact. Let's just turn off that lovely sounds. And this next poem is... Would you like to do it?
Oh, no, I've done loads.
Okay, I'll do it. So this next poem comes from Skylar J. Wynter, who is from Darlington, Australia. And let's put the thing on. Yes, Skylar's first book, Pieces of Humanity, was released in October 2020 to align with National Mental Health Month. Residing by day in the Perth Hills of Western Australia, by night, Wynter can be found gallivanting around the globe in the virtual arena of online open mic poetry events, like this one. So this is what she has to say about the poem, which is called The Phonecall. Hang on a minute, you can't see that yet. There it is. And we might try... No, I don't think it didn't like that so much.
Oh, okay. We had another angle set up so that you could see our keys and everything. Ooh! Oh!
But is it in time? Sort of? Yeah, it is. Okay, all right, well, I don't know. This is now. Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. All right, sorry, I'll continue. So this piece, Skylar J. Wynter, The Phonecall, this is what she has to say about the poem. I was asked to submit a poetry piece to an anthology on globalization, and after experiencing and seeing the toll that job cuts have taken on families around the globe, all around the globe, the word took on a whole new meaning for me. I think in these times of being so uncertain about what our lives will look like from one day to the next, the thing we need to globalize are thoughts, deeds, and actions which replace hopelessness with hope.
This is a really moving poem and does include themes of suicide, so be warned of that. We were so moved by hearing this poem from Skylar, and it reminded us of a song that we wrote at the kind of the start of, the start of the pandemic, really. And so we have weaved that into Skylar's words, and we hope you enjoy it. This is called The Phonecall, with bits of Charlie and Jake's song happening now.
The phone call. We've been expecting a phone call, delivering a message that's becoming normal, the second set to the first wave of something viral that has swept across borders and oceans, bringing oceans of tears to our borders. And that phone call came today. Caller ID on display, we knew the words "I'm sorry, I have bad news" would put into jeopardy the financial security of our family. Instead, the words "I'm sorry to tell you a colleague has passed away at home" came down the line in flat monotone, and we instantly recognised the words were code for suicide. We have seen since the onslaught of COVID-19 the globalisation of human suffering, humanity reaching out while staying in, posting and streaming all manner of things in an attempt to circumvent alone manifesting. But rooted in the need for sanitation and isolation is a growing inclination towards profit rectification and a new pandemic featuring set after set of job loss setbacks and back set back into corners there is no escape from is creeping up behind us. The phone call we thought would be notifying us of a job loss notified us of a life lost, and somewhere out there a family is grieving because a man's name on a FIFO roster has been permanently crossed off. Any chance of being rostered back on or attending his child's first birthday is forever gone. Any opportunity to tell him things will be okay vanished in an instant today.
Did you ever think about it? Did you ever realize? Did you ever wonder what it takes to say goodbye? Did you ever think about it? Think about what you've done? Did you ever think about the plans undone? 'Cause it's happening now. Yeah, it's happening now.
This was not the intent or what was meant when the company that has operations globally started talking redundancy, cutting costs to preserve profits that realistically, even if halved, would still be profit enough to ensure no person on their payroll need be told they are unnecessary. Profit enough to provide security and lifelines for individuals and families. Profit enough to keep the company operational only, not shareholders happy. What I'm saying is, globalisation is the act of extending out across the globe, but we can choose to extend anything. So why not hope? What I'm saying is, we received a phone call today and my my heart broke for the man who took his own life. It broke for his family, his child, and his wife. It broke to know that every day across this globe, people are receiving phone calls emptying them of hope. People are living in a world that they no longer know. Humanity is experiencing a shift that not all of us have the scope to survive or deal with. What I'm saying is, it's time to shed the hardened layers of our skin to let out the empathy we've learned to shut in. If there was ever a time to look beyond ourselves, to put aside our stories and just be willing to reach out, what I'm saying is, I think that time is now.
If we can choose to extend anything, why don't we choose hope? If we can choose to extend anything, why can't we choose hope? If we can choose to extend anything, why don't we choose hope? If we can choose to extend anything, why don't we choose hope? If we can choose to extend anything, why don't we choose hope? Did you ever think about it? Choose to extend anything. Did you ever? Did you ever think about it? Did you ever choose hope? Did you ever think about it? Did you ever choose hope? Did you ever think about it? Did you ever choose hope? Did you ever think about it? Did you ever choose hope? Did you ever think about it? Happening now. Oh, it's happening now. Did you ever think about it? Did you ever think about it? If we can choose to extend anything, why can't it be hope? If we can think about it. Ooh, did you ever choose hope? Did you ever think about it? Did you ever choose hope? Did you ever think about it? Everything is now. Everything is now. 'Cause it's happening now. Did you ever think about it? Oh, did you ever? Did you ever think about it? Did you ever wonder why? Did you ever wonder what it takes to say goodbye? Did you ever think about it? Think about what you've done. Did you know about the things that your actions haven't done? Thank you, Skylar. What a powerful poem. Just amazing. If we can choose to extend anything, why don't we choose hope? Thank you. That was beautiful. Yeah. Really beautiful. We're going to take a quick break. That was amazing. We're going to take a quick break, but before we do, we wanted to sing you a song, a lovely, happy song. We've got a single coming out next month of one of our songs. This is a song we wrote for our lovely friends who got married a few years ago now. And we thought that we would end this first half with something just joyous about love and hope. And we're going to be releasing this song in a few weeks. And it's just... it's super happy and lovey and lovely, and we wanted to share it all with you before we release it. we don't really share our own music much on here, so this is kind of a new thing for us, but we thought we'd give it a go. Yeah. So this is called When You Know, and yeah, enjoy. Have a lovely break after that too. It's so happy that people call this our friends call this our Christmas number one.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Whew. I've never known you this way. You call me up on your way home when you've been on the date, and I've never heard you this way. You're smiling with your words and stumbling, so I can't hear what you're saying. But I know now, and I think you do too, 'cause there's one phrase that you keep coming back to, and when you know, you know, you know. So let's light up the fire of our memories. Rise up the moment you see. The golden hours of our lives are here again. So won't you come and share them with me? Fast forward a year. You say she makes you everything that you want to be, but I'll stop you there. 'Cause you've always been alright to me. Taking time, oh, to watch the twilight as the sun falls on us all in this golden hour. When you know, you know. Light up the fire of our memories. Rise up the moment you see. The golden hours of our lives are here again. So won't you come and share them with me? Light up the fire of our memories. Rise up the moment you see. The golden hours of our lives are here again. So won't you come and share them with me? And I hope on this day, surrounded by everyone that cares for you, that you find some time to take it in, just the two of you. And I hope that you know that everyone here learns a bit more what love is whenever you're near. Oh, we learn a bit more what love is whenever you're near. So let's light up the fire of our memories.
Light up the fire.
Rise up the moment you see.
The golden hours of our lives
are here again.
So won't you come and share them with me?
Light up the fire of our memories. Light up the fire. Rise up the moment you see.
The golden hours of our lives are here again.
So won't you come and share them with me?
Light up the fire of our memories. Rise up the moment you see. The golden hours of our lives are here again. Come
and share it all with me. We wrote
wrote that song for them. We were performing the first dance for their wedding, and they knew that. But then we surprised them with this song afterwards.
Yeah.
It was lush. And we thought we'd share it with you guys and then with the world next month. So we will take a short break now. It's 8:05. So let's just have 10 minutes, shall we?
Yeah,
Back at
10
past.
minutes. Back at 15:15.
Put the kettle on, get another beer, and we'll see you in 10 minutes.
Bye-bye.
And in the meantime, why not check out our Patreon or join
yes.
our coffee or check
Other
the
way
list of... yeah,
Check our coffee and join our Patreon.
that's it. And also check out all the Instagrams and such of the poets that have been featured so far. Thank you so much. Goodbye for a bit.
See you in 10.
No? Hey!
Things are going a bit slowly today.
Hello, friends.
Everyone's very tired, and especially the technology. Yeah. Everybody say "ah" for the technology.
Oh.
Ah. I'm assuming you all did it at home. I hope you did, because it's going to help the rest of the show happen. So, anyway.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back.
Did you all have a good break?
We
Is
did.
everybody okay? We did. Yes. So, straight in?
I think so. Yeah.
Or should we fill in and just talk a bit more about...
Nah.
No, it's fine, isn't it? So the next poem is by Caleb Parkin, and it's called Party Poem 2020. And when Caleb sent this in, I made an indescribable noise that was something along the lines of... Because I was so excited.
Yes.
So Caleb is the third Bristol City poet. He's widely published in journals and competition shortlists, and has a how do you say that?
MSc?
An MSc in creative writing for therapeutic.
MSci.
Yeah, that's it, MSci. We've both got arts degrees, so we don't even know what it is. In creative writing for therapeutic purposes. He's from Bristol, obviously, and this Party Poem 2020 was his first commissioned poem as Bristol City poet, which I think began last month. Me and Nikki, who's in the chat, went to see him at Bristol Old Vic at the handover. It was amazing. So anyway, so he wanted to set out his stall with this poem ahead of National Poetry Day 2020, as well as creating something which playfully addressed all the cancellations this year. He says, my goal was that it worked on both sides of the central metaphor, as an evocation of a house party, as well as a party that really was full of poems. The ways everything and everyone can become poetic if we offer the invitation. So amazing. So this is going to use two different techniques for us. The first is that the soundscape is from a Norwegian party. Can we hear a bit?
We can. So some of the sounds are not recorded by us. We haven't been to a Norwegian party in preparation for this, but we have a big sound library that we're subscribed to, and you just can't not when it's a Norwegian party. So, and it's very background, but little moments you'll sort of think, oh, that's very Norwegian. Anyway.
And then the second is I'm going to layer up some vocals on the drum pads over here. And we have this system where I can press down a button and then talk for a couple of seconds. I'm at a party. I'm at a party too. I'm at a party. I'm at a party too. And I can play them. I'm at a party too. I'm at a party together. Oh, I can also, if I just hold it down really gently, here's half, but I'm out, here's half, but I'm out. It plays it backwards. I'm at a party, yeah. Oh, yeah, what's in the, oh, yeah, oh, a lovely party drink. Oh, I love party drinks. Yeah, party drinks are my favourite. There we go. So I'll just loop that, shall I?
Yes, well, I start.
Okay. So this is, oh, don't forget the, Dewberry.
Sorry.
So this is Party Poem 2020 by
fact,
Caleb Parkin.
Shall we try and go to this one for that?
Sure.
If it's...
No, look, it's way off now.
Let me just... Because it would be nice. There's a lot that we're doing, so we'll try.
Oh, okay. We've lost it.
Better?
Oh,
sit back. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's pretty good. Okay, cool. All right.
Sorry.
We'll keep with that. Sorry.
We've got one tiny computer that deals with like a camera and a phone and all the music and the live stream and all of these instruments. It's a lot going on.
Poor thing.
Right.
Okay.
So this is Party Poem 2020 by Caleb Parkin.
I'm at party is tough. I'm at a party. Yeah. I'm at a party. Oh yeah. Oh, a lovely party. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, a lovely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, a lovely party. I'm at party. I'm at party. Oh yeah. Oh, a lovely party. I'm at a party. Yeah. Oh yeah. What's in the? I'm at a party. Oh yeah. Oh, a lovely party.
Party Poem 2020. Welcome to this poem, which is all the cancelled parties. You don't need an invitation other than that title, Party Poem, but feel free to imagine one in twirly cursive writing on fancy perfumed paper, or ping arriving as a text, or if you're that way inclined, which I am, an official calendar event, survey attached. You've RSVP'd with your eyes and or ears, so let's head inside, away from this corridor where you've hung up your ideas about poems, thankfully, because this whole party is full of poems. Poems stood around the buffet, removing cling film from shining trays of lingo, pondering which delicious verbs to nibble, plunging a ladle into a lustrous crystal punch bowl full of a drink. A drink, perhaps, you'll each be able to describe in HD 3D smell-o-vision as exactly the one you desired. You go to find the host. Whose party is this anyway? The music shuffles days, decades, centuries. Sonata to reggae, gamelan to techno. Mid-track, as though the DJ is wired into everyone's heads. Then some new style of music nobody's ever heard, but sways to in tones that poetry noise. Room after room, full of poems, each a party, each a world. Some opening lines seem nice enough. Then, this poem which introduces you to all their friends. You'll keep in touch. Maybe there's a poem you'll make official, live with, framed on your wall. On the stairs, poems touch screen scroll, upload themselves on a digital fizz of hearts. As you pass, this other huddle of zip-lipped, collar-starched poems hiss. Those other poems aren't even poems. But you smile politely, move on, to find the bathroom. Knock. Wait. Inside, some poems overdone it, said the wrong thing again to that other poem they love, a second-hand smorgasbord of words, words, words everywhere. Their hair is full of exclamation marks, held back by a friendly editor. Let's get you tidied up, in a taxi, Yeah?
Your mind is a dance floor of potential. 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 Your mind is a dance floor of potential.
Washing, re-washing at your hands. Your mind is a dance floor of potential. Your eyes a glitter of question marks. You are a poem in the mirror. As you set out from this party poem, this rainbow of houses, this high-rise, this woodland, this high-rise woodland rainbow house, you'll glide through rolling streets where poems flit between phone lines, poems claw through side alley bins, and this poem ferries you home now, its engine warm and humming.
Your mind is a dance floor of potential. Your mind is a dance floor of potential. Your mind is a dance floor of potential. Is a dance floor. Your mind is a dance floor of potential. Your mind is a dance floor of potential. Your mind is a dance floor of potential. Dun, da, da, dun, da. Your mind is a dance floor of potential. Your mind is a dance floor of potential. Your mind is a dance floor of potential. Oh, that's so cool. Such a cool poem. I love the rainbow house. And there's so much I love. I basically, when I heard Caleb do this at the Old Vic about a month ago, I just basically just sat there. It was so cool.
Yeah, thanks so much for sending that in to us.
Thank you so
That was
much.
a lot of fun to work with.
There was so much there. I loved the bit, if we weren't improvising it, the bit with all the styles of music, we would just go crazy with, wouldn't we? So it's a good job we don't. So, thank you so much, Caleb. That was so awesome. And we're so excited to hear what you do with the rest of your time as Bristol City Poet.
Do submit again.
Do submit
We'd
again.
love to have it.
We'll do submit again. So, the next trio
Yes, there's a
of
trio now.
poems is from our album. We wanted to share with you a few tracks that we recorded nearly 2 years ago now. Is that true? We released our debut album as Echoes and Edges last March. And we didn't get to celebrate that with a party and with a big launch gig. It was literally the weekend that the UK went into lockdown. So we did a live stream instead, and it was our very first one. And actually, if you watch it now compared to this one, it's rubbish. But so we wanted to keep celebrating this amazing album. And the way we wanted to do that was next month, we're going to be having a listening party live stream where we're going to break it down track by track, talk to Tim, Gillie and David, the poets that we worked with on this album, talk about their favourites, talk about their writing process and our collaboration process, and really kind of look back and listen to it all again. Yeah. And we're really excited. But we wanted to show you guys the album too. So here it is.
Oh, it's a bit blown out.
It's called Glory in the Bone.
Oh, you can't see that at all. Show it over here.
It's called Glory in the Bone. There we go. It's called Glory in the Bone. You can
listen to it on Spotify or have a look on our website. And if you join our Patreon, then we send you a copy anyway, right? So we wanted to play you a few tracks from our debut album, which is stuff that we haven't played for like 6 months. So let's see how it goes. And the first song we're going to play, first poem we're going to play for you is by Gillie Harries, who wrote this poem all about the Suffolk coastline. And it's called The Grace of Accuracy.
Some sounds.
The grace of accuracy. The grace of accuracy is to have no requirement for accuracy. Setting out on a path linear with eastern light, return to this shore of pebble crunch, and finding all along the need was to stop, breathe, be in silence. And memory turns this way and that in one sunlit air, like a crystal roped on plumb-lined light. Now this shine, now that opacity. Discard the getting it right, measuring all distance between now and then, here and now. Just to stand by water. Allow its ebb to lap your small child's toes, high tide your heart. Just to stand by water, argent at Heron Lake's margin, shadowed with reed. Just to stand by water, phosphorescent with loss. Just to stand by water, the castled ferry heaving to leave. Just to stand by water, savor the sunfire's ozone bite. Just to stand by water, pooled with estuarine light. Just to stand by water, with the certain knowledge that this is the now of life. Just to stand by water. This is the grace of accuracy.
grace of accuracy. That was nice to do that one again.
Yeah.
Hope that's left you feeling suitably calm.
Has left me suitably calm, which
Yeah.
is not necessarily a good thing considering the next piece that we're doing. So this next one, so there's three poets that make up the poets of Echoes and Edges, who are Gillie, Harries, Tim Vosper, and David Punter. And this next poem comes from Tim. I'm just going to turn that off and get ready for it. Ooh, interesting. Sorry about that. Play that. And yes, it's called All Creatures, Great and Small. And it's actually the second poem in a sort of duo on the album. The first of which is called Your Poem Made That Dog Bark, because basically Tim was doing a performance in Victoria Park near here, and during his performance a dog barked and woof indeed and a girl said in the audience said, "Oh, your poem made that dog bark." So he wrote a poem about that. And then this, as we will hear, is the poem that made the dog bark. So if you've got a dog, be warned, it might bark. Then I'm just going to switch over to this one and get that title up for you.
Oh,
Tim.
hang on.
Oh, and also you'll see a little bit later. We made a music video for this a year and a half ago now, and it was all animated out of paper, stop motion animations with lots of little
you can't
characters.
see it gets too shiny.
No, that's all right there. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, just there. It's perfect. And yeah, we spent many hours, many days creating all the props and characters, and Tim drew the little animals for us, and then we added some other animals to it as well, and props and things. So you can check out the music video for that after this show. But yes, without further ado. Oh, there's a little elephant. Yeah. All characters which you will. Oh no.
Oh dear.
All characters which you will be introduced to during this piece, which is All Creatures Great and Small by Spiky Tim.
I haven't played this for so long.
Okay, are we ready? Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Is it loud enough?
Yes.
Yes. Good.
Ready?
Yes.
And now, the poem that made the dog bark. All creatures great and small. You say they're rubbish, but I rise above it. It's a small grey rodent which I covet.
A chin 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 chinchilla, chin 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 chinchilla. A chin 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 chinchilla, chin 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 chinchilla.
It's a dog not very big, like a barking guinea pig.
Chihuahua, chihuahua. A chihuahua, chihuahua.
As a pet it is impractical, as a gift it is unsuitable.
Elephant. Elephant.
You say they're rubbish, but I rise above it. It's a small grey rodent which I covet. It's a dog not very big, like a barking guinea pig. As a pet it is impractical, as a gift it is unsuitable.
Elephant.
Bit of fun.
A lot of fun.
There's also on the album a poem about Tim jumping into the sea.
Oh yeah.
And there's also the poem that made the dog bark. Oh, there's so many good ones.
And if you want a sneak peek of the behind the scenes
Oh yeah.
of making the animation
Oh yes, please.
that goes along
I'd
with
love
it,
some
would you like
behind
it?
the
Yes,
scenes.
yeah. Here it is. The time lapse that we took whilst we were making it, so you can sort of get a brief idea.
We cut out all the paper and we made all of that
Yeah.
ourselves. And it was the hottest day of the year last year. It was
Yeah.
crazy, wasn't it?
I mean, looking at that, it doesn't look like it took us very long. But
No.
Anyway, so yes, do check out that music video and consider purchasing the album to help support the Echoes and Edges project and the Open Collab project. So, we can turn that off now. Can I turn that off now, please?
Nope.
Nope. Let's turn it off now, please.
So the last poem of this trio is by David Punter, and it's the music and poetry collaboration that kind of started everything for us, really, and it's just our favourite piece to perform ever. It's just the most beautiful love poem called Love and Water.
So just catching this up with. Yes, there it is. Okay.
Where's the sea?
Oh, this is again a forest in the Dandenong Hills, just east of Melbourne, but also accompanied by a recording by the banks of a lake. By the bank.
Of a lake.
Doesn't have banks. Bank. By the bank of a lake in Switzerland, where it was very, very calm and very picturesque, and I think you can hear the picturesqueness of it as well as see it if you go there. Okay, so this is David Punter with Love and Water.
Love and water. The clouds are piled like turrets formed of gold. The silver water slides along the quay. My morning body against your sleeping thigh. The heron darts down from the moving tree. Pale zebrafish and green and purple wrasse trace rivulets of pattern on your arm, and incandescent colourings of delight break like defeated waves upon your calm. Our love is like the water as it flows through channels to a landing place unknown. It imitates the starling as it glows and brings forth all the glory in the bone.
Imitates the style in the imitates the starling as it glows and brings forth all the glory in the bow. Thank you so much to Tim, David and Gillie for always bringing us such beautiful poetry and for always being, being there to make poems with and collaborations with. So thank you so much. We can't wait to share with you all the listening party for Glory in the Bone, which that was just a little taster of, and that is on the 7th of December. So check out our Instagram and stuff for more information about that. I hope that was nice for you. All right. Yes. Let's get back to our poems for tonight.
Yes.
The next poem is by Rohan Samuel. Hi, Rohan. Rohan's in London. We've worked with Rohan's poetry before, and we're so excited to do so again. So Rohan says, he's new to the poetry scene. He has always been creative through his painting, drawing, and photography. However, with spoken word poetry, Rohan wants to inspire others by telling his truths and helping in allowing others to share their truths, making a domino chain of positivity, using a voice and their feelings to invoke change for the better. Rohan's been doing some amazing stuff on Instagram at the moment. He's doing loads of poetry with his son, his little boy, and it is just, it's so tingly and amazing. Oh, you should totally watch. Rohan's clearly a very proud dad and a very good teacher. It's beautiful. This poem, Dreams versus Reality, is a reply to Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. This shows that the conversation on racism and the conversation of equality and societal progress is not over. It's only evolved, and we must address the issues if we are to unite.
Dreams versus realities. You said you had a dream. Well, I have a reality, and it saddens me that when I listen to your words, my only conclusion is that dreams don't necessarily come true. As if night terrors terrorize night skies, allowing my dreams to be subdued in the light of the moon. So your dream and my dream may never shake hands with the light of reality. So when I look back, I see you are also looking back, because 100 years later, the Negro still isn't free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the manacles of discrimination, and it still hasn't stopped. It's only evolved, taking Darwin's theory of evolution and evolving it into a concept of dehumanization. You see, the world is different now. As many opportunities that has arisen as many times eyes see us as opposition, the crippling isn't so physical. They put the whip down because they realize our backs are stronger now. But the physical form of racism has entered into a systematic error where my skin makes errors because I'm black. As if we had to xenophobically atone for our skin tone. Don't you understand the flesh underneath us? Isn't it the same flesh underneath you? I hear Marty wants change, I want it too, but any change to the system must coincide with the change in mentality, parallel like a train track, otherwise we'll derail the Underground Railroad. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. But equality doesn't equal equity, and liberation of freedom is only liberal when freedom comes with a price tag. So my worth and value is only valued if I'm worth something to society, and that is evident. As much as I want everyone to be equal, my dream doesn't match up to reality. And you can offer those dreams as much as you like. But now we have to change the narrative, because if we don't narrate our own stories, we'll become less of an autobiography and more of a myth. And I don't know how long I can hold on when they keep on taking pieces of me. So when I donate my dreams to reality, they just look at me as an organ donor. I have a dream. Down in Alabama, with his vicious racists, with his governor having his lips dripping with his words of interposition and nullification. Boy, I told you times have changed. Lips no longer drip with nullification. It's pouring in the form of loud silence. Whilst governments shout they want us to stay mute, but if we shout, they will try to quiet a 400-year-old storm. Dispatch dispositions of disposal, have police brutality keep us brutally subdued, then play hangman with the letters of the law. Their constant consonants continuously keep our mouths in the vow whilst the noose gets tighter, and this is how you play countdown. I'm happy to join with you today as what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration of freedom in the history of our nation. But does demonstration lead to change? The eyes of history still look at us the same. When we demonstrate why we deserve these positions, they color code us as white. When we demonstrate how to get into the highest positions, so the blacks at the back will detach from what it takes to get into those positions. But those who control those positions will only allow us to sit at their table if we can provide for them whilst destroying ourselves. So the master image has been remastered with HD vision. So when you said the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down on the tables of brotherhood, what table were you referring to? I told you it's different now. We don't want to sit at the table because we know the chairs are broken, and none of us are carpenters, so I'd rather sit on the carpet and allow others to sit with me. But you said, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the colour of their skin but by the content of their character. And what characters we have in the modern day world. Racism was never something acquired through ancestral heritage, it was taught to our kids. So who are we to blame organizations? It's generations of generations that band together to spread hatred. So whilst we try to flood the school systems, we must also flood our minds and realize that racism is a learned skill. So when you ask yourself, what are you actually learning? Ask yourself, what are you doing to unlearn it? With this faith, we'll be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. And this we can agree on. To those that throw stones in glass houses and step on us as if we are dirt, just know that one pebble may not make a difference, but how do you counteract a rock slide? With this faith, we'll be able to stand up to freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. And as much as I want freedom to reign, they take these reins disguised as nooses and rain us in, come rain or shine. Subconscious dark clouds hang over us. It's been a long time since we've seen pre-colonial sunshine. For every shot that bangs opens up a wound in the sky. The rain falls to mimic our mothers and fathers' eyes. The teardrops spill will sound out, let freedom ring. And shed another tear for the millions died. You will hear thunder in these tears like a million-man march. The ground will quake and shake with the sound of let freedom ring. Let freedom ring, and when this happens, we will be able to speed up that day with black men and white Jews and Gentiles, Catholics and Protestants. Free at last, thank God Almighty, free at last. I see your dream, as vivid as my eyes are wide open. But your dream and my reality so far are not together, and our minds are not unified as I would like them to be. I see changes, but that format only comes about after tragedy, and it saddens me that dreams have not yet come true. So it's up to us to be the dream catchers and turn your dreams to reality, because I don't want my children's children saying the same words that you said if 100 years later the Negro still isn't free.
Thank you so much, Rohan, for sending that in to us.
Amazing. So good. So good. Thank you so much. I imagine that everybody's doing a huge clap.
Yeah.
So cool. So cool, Rohan. Thank you so much for everything I've heard you do has just been so powerful and incredible. Just keep doing it. It's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Where should we go now?
So we've only got 2 more for the whole evening now. Is this working? No. Yeah, so there's 2 more now before we bring the last collaborative Open Collab of the year to a close. We've been saying that the last collaborative one, because there will be one on December, but we're going to be doing basically a little look back at all of our favourite selections from the last 8 months of making collaborations with poetry.
Yeah.
So there'll be a premiere, and we'll definitely be in the chat, but it's not going to be a live show like this. We'll just be looking back at
It's a Christmas show.
stuff. Yeah, it's sort of like a Christmas show. Yeah, because everyone's back home and we're, pre-recorded. Yeah, that's what they do on the telly, isn't it? So with
this telly.
yeah. Anyway, so this is the last 2 pieces now where we will be collaborating with the poems live for you at home wherever you are. And thank you for spending your Saturday evening with us. I hope you've had a good time so far. We definitely have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big extra round of applause for all of the
everyone.
poets that have been involved and sent in their poetry.
Oh,
We've
I'm
loved
having a great time.
every second of it. And
Gonna get a curry, aren't we?
we're going to get a curry. We only had one on Wednesday, Thursday?
Don't tell them
Thursday.
that.
But it's good curry, so we're going to get another one. So this next one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Take it away.
Okay. This next poem is by best name of the night, T.S. Idiot. And this poem is called Pip People, brackets, we will be orchards. So T.S. Idiot is an outsider artist, a performer who draws on beauty and power from history's margins to embrace and mock modern life in equal measures. They look to the junkies, the jokers, the bent and abandoned for inspiration and solace. They've warmed up crowds for the likes of John Cooper Clarke and Attila the Stockbroker, as well as DIY punk shows and queer cabaret nights across the UK. And they did a poetry night on Thursday for Trans Awareness Week, which was lush. This was one of the first poems I wrote, they say, for my pandemic poems series, Reflections on Lockdown, Isolation and Community in collaboration with visual artists. Wow. They wrote this piece in April when we had to go into lockdown, but also as spring was in full bloom. It got them thinking about the balance of hope and hopelessness we hold, and a reminder to themselves and others that eventually we will become something more. So this is T.S. Idiot with Pip People. Hey, whoa, don't forget the title.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, whoa there.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's working at the moment.
Oh, no.
Oh, it is?
Hey.
Okay. Lovely. Ah, thanks. One of the many little cogs in the machine that make it all work, but sometimes everything goes wrong. But we don't talk about that. Okay. You ready?
Think so. Start this one again because
I just did it wrong. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Charlie.
That's all right.
Well, let's just. Okay. Start in silence. Okay. I'll play the bass again as well. Let's just pretend we're beginning again. Sorry.
I thought I did it wrong, but he did it wrong.
It was all me. Okay.
In this unprecedented dent on our collective lives, space is growing for some of us to bloom. Space for we, the chronically anxious, the bent and abandoned. We who never did fit in this world anyway, and now the world doesn't fit itself. We whose idea of a good time is taking a toaster to a water park just to see what happens. We who have been waiting for a kinder world since our heart was first broken. We who have been tenderized by the mean mallet of modern living, the furloughed and forgotten, the ones who thought ourselves rotten to the core, are realizing that all this time we were full of pips, tiny cases of infinite potential, sown in some kind of rubble. And I know, yes, I know, there will be orchards when all of this is over. We will be orchards when all of this is over.
Space is growing for some of us to bloom. Wow. Thanks, T.S. Idiot. That was awesome. So cool. Ah, beautiful. Some really beautiful images. Oh, I should have sung Pip People. Oh, never mind. I'll do that next time. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Oh, yes. Space is growing for some of us to bloom. I was a tree, but you missed it. I was a lovely tree over this side. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So we come to the last poem of tonight, this month, and
this year.
And this one is from Haneefah Mohammed, who is someone that we collaborated with first back in June, I think it was, with a great poem that she sent in, and then also again we were invited to an online festival, and that was for a charity.
It was for period poverty charity called the Big Bloody Brunch last month, and Haneefah kind of reworded a poem she'd written for International Women's Day, which was really powerful. Yeah,
and now she sent in another poem for us to work with live on stream with you, and this poem is called Follow Your Heart. And Haneefah has over 20 years experience as a social worker, mainly with people experiencing complex mental health issues. She is also a soul empowerment coach and performance poet. Haneefah self-published her book My Soul Purpose last year, and describes it as a collection of her poems about life, living and learning on her journey to self-discovery. And she actually has given us a little bit of an introduction to the poem in her own words, in her own voice as well. So,
but I think when we thought about this poem and we thought about what we would end with tonight, there's been a lot of poems that have taken us on a journey, but the journey has ended with new hope, right? And I think that's what we wanted to do with the whole program tonight, is to take us all on this journey. And we've made a lot of noise tonight, and we've used a lot of loops and a lot of soundscapes. But tonight we just want, for this last song, we wanted to just focus on Haneefah's voice, on Jake playing piano, and unplug everything. And I might do some singing as well. So sit back, relax and enjoy. Follow Your Heart by Haneefah Mohammed.
She's going to say something, isn't she? Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote this poem a few months back, and at the time I'd just been thinking about my life some years back and what an exciting time it was, and thinking about where I am now in my life, more settled and still excited about life, but there was a kind of different flavour to the excitement when I wrote this. So it's a letter to my 20-year-old self, and it's reminding me about the importance of following my heart. So it's called Follow Your Heart. This letter comes from my seasoned heart to my 20-year-old younger self. I'm smiling and thinking of the fun, the ups and the downs, being wild and being free, and how exciting it felt. You learned as a child about the innocence of growing, playing, learning, and being loved, about making and breaking friendships, sharing secrets, and building trust. Everything you experienced back then was meant to be that way. The smiles, the laughter, the losses and gains prepared you for this very day. Because now, at 20, you're starting a rich new chapter on this journey of your life, with adventures, choices and decisions Some you'll get wrong, and others you'll get right. But whatever happens, remember to follow the calling in your heart. Be guided by the wisdom of your soul and stay on your own true path. Oh, it's fine to seek advice from others, and it's better still that you learn from your own mistakes. But just know you're here for a purpose. So be yourself and stand in your unique space. Do what you do best. Be proud of the woman you're becoming. Life is too short to spend it doubting, hiding, looking for perfection, or self-judging. Because in years to come, you will thank yourself for pushing through the pain from your past. So, let your vulnerability be your strength as you boldly, courageously follow your heart.
Thank you so much, Haneefah. So pure and simple and needed as well.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for allowing us to create some music around it. And of course, thanks to everyone else who submitted their poetry tonight. It's just been a dream. If I say too many more thankful things, then Charlie might cry. So I'm going to keep on going.
Might cry. I start crying. I start crying in the interval.
Yeah. Thanks so much, everybody, for not just sharing your poetry with us, but also joining us in the chat. And I know, we've just gone back into a second lockdown, although not just gone in. About halfway through a second lockdown in the UK at the moment. That has
in England.
In England, that has shut everything down again, and this project really started out of the first lockdown, out of necessity, but also out of necessity. Out of necessity because we had nowhere to do the gig in person, so we had to go online, but also to create these connections and collaborations across the world, across the internet. I mean, when we started out, we definitely weren't expecting to be collaborating every month with someone from Australia, the US, Mexico, Europe, Canada, Africa, the Philippines, everywhere. You know, the submissions have come in from everywhere, and it's just been magical to be in the position to curate them, listen to them all, and then create music around them.
Music, yeah.
And wow, thanks everyone so much. Had a great time.
Yeah.
Don't know
Keep
what to say
up
now.
to date with us.
Oh yes.
We've got our single coming out. You can buy our album. We've got the listening party. We have got an open collab next year that's the best. Next month that's the best of the year, which is going to be really magic, and we'll talk you through all of that again, and it's going to be lovely.
Yeah.
So do subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Oh, yes.
Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook.
Oh, yes.
Support us on Coffee. Support us on Patreon. Follow all the poets, anything else you need to do. So you've got a long to-do list. I hope that's okay. If we have got 10 Patreons, then tomorrow morning we're going to do a live stream where we break down all of the tracks we made tonight, which is going to be super fun. And we only need 2 more. So if you can spare £5 English, then we would love for you to join us on Patreon and be part of our community and part of our family, helping this project come alive.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for spending your Saturday night with us and not Strictly Come Dancing. To be honest, I'm quite gutted. I've missed it. So we will see you. Sorry, I'm so emotional. I mean, what a night. Just so many. It's just been amazing. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next month. Take care of yourselves and each other. And we'll see you in December.
And what was the words? If we can share anything, why can't it be hope?
Yeah.
And follow your heart.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye then.
Bye. Hope you had a really good time. Thanks so much again. Big round of applause to everyone at home for sticking with us, tuning in to the poets. It's been absolutely incredible. We've been Charlie and Jake. This has been Open Collab. The 8th one of this year. Tune in next month, the 3rd Saturday, for an extra special edition, looking back at the greatest hits. Woo! Go have a great time. Bye-bye.